Testing. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. As you know, I don't ever check anything before I jump online. All right. Man, guys, so I know it's been a very long time since I've done any live streams or really any videos. Just to give you a bit of heads up on real crypto, I got laid off recently. Company was having problems. I was kind of middle management overhead, so I got let go. I've been very busy with side work and everything. I do audio video installation, so I'm in the middle of one of those. Yeah, there we go. That's why I haven't been around, but I'm here now. And we're at 14,000. So Lucid asks, where is 3K? It's 11,000 lower if I need to do that math for you. Yeah, I'm not, not a fortune teller, not a soothsayer. Like I said, those are potential futures, my 11.5 to 3K video. So just to put, I'm sure all of you guys have seen that, but to put that in perspective, let's go to the one-day chart. So I made that video pretty much, I think, on this day before this. Yeah, I know, Lucid, but a lot of people think that, and they have every right to. Look, I'm a guy like anyone else. I put my, I wouldn't even call that an opinion. Like I said, those are possible futures. You have to take those videos for what they are. They're possible futures. They're technical analysis. They kind of give you guys a little bit of the insights and what to do during a parabolic move, which is what we're seeing now, which is what we're seeing right now. So we have 45 minutes left in this trading day. This candle is actually a little bit shorter than this candle. The reason I mention that is because the largest candle in the move is typically the top, and we've talked about that before. This is a little bit smaller than this particular candle, and the volume is much larger in this candle, so I can't say this one's the top. I can't say this is the top. But I did draw a new trend line right here based off of this action. So I did draw this trend line from this low here at about 86. Man, 86? That's... We're up 64% from this low. Wow, that is ridiculous. Oh, all I gotta say is that's ridiculous. Up 64% from the bottom here to this top. 14.4 looks like. I'm looking at the Coinbase daily chart here on BTC. The volume's just not giving up, guys. It's just not giving up. Although I will have to say, during this nice little, ever since this nice parabolic day in Bitcoin, this topping action that lasted a whole 12 hours, we have had some nice run in altcoins. We have had some super, yeah, hodl, right, Sophie? I agree with you. I agree with you. Unfortunately, I've got 15 years as a trader. I have not played this move as well as I am capable of. I'm sure many of you have that same experience. But you know what? It is what it is. We're here today. We can only play today. And yeah, hopefully Bitcoin comes down and gives us an entry point. Or at least goes sideways and gives us an entry point. However, that it looks very, very unlikely. So, very, very unlikely. Looks like we're in this uptrend. And it's getting more and more parabolic. We've still been parabolic. And we're going to be parabolic. I guess that's the prescription. Apparently in Bitcoin, parabolic doesn't mean you're done. It means it just continues. It just continues. So let's go ahead and spread the chart out as much as we can and make these look not parabolic. Maybe that's the thing to do, is adjust your charts. You need to adjust your charts at this point. It's not Bitcoin, it's your charts. Hodl Cardano /ADA says silver. That is correct. That is a very good coin. That's a hodl that's going to take you a while, though. I actually liquidated my ADA position, and I liquidated... Actually, no, I'm still in IOTA. Jamie says, at Real Crypto, what are you looking for in the coming days or weeks to indicate the alts are hitting their BTC price bottom? Well, at this moment in time, I think the only thing you can look for is for Bitcoin to start consolidating or going sideways. All this money's just been sucked out of the altcoins and pushed into Bitcoin. And since we've seen this big pump of 14 to 20% today. Oh, yeah, saw my stream with Node. Yeah, that was fun. We've been talking about doing that for a little bit. He knows I've been laid off recently. I informed him. We're going to work on some projects. We're going to work on some projects in the crypto space together now that I have some time. And yeah, that was fun. I'd say that was a lot of fun. 300% on ADA. Good for you, Lucid. Good job. Time to go to fiat. No. I'm just going to say no. I mean, so this is the thing with Bitcoin. See, I'm on a 15-minute chart in Bitcoin. I'm on a 15-minute chart. You have, I mean, it's so difficult, guys. It's just so difficult up here. Reason being because Bitcoin is unlike any technical analysis that you can do. It's defying logic is what it's doing. And it's not that it's defying logic. Let me rephrase that, okay? Let me rephrase that. It's obeying the technical analysis. Okay? It's obeying the technical analysis. And it is beyond comprehension. Okay? But it is obeying the technical analysis. So like you've heard me say time and time again, opinions mean nothing and the charts rule. So opinions mean nothing in the charts rule. All you got to do is obey the charts. Obey. Just be obedient. That's all you have to do as a trader. Throw all your opinions to the side. Throw 1,200% a year to the side. Throw 14.4 to the side. Throw 10,000. Because 10,000 seems cheap now, doesn't it? Doesn't 10,000 seem cheap? When was the last time we saw 10,000? Like literally broke out from 10,000. Was 5 days ago. We're at 40%, 45% in 5 days, folks. 45%. Our opinions mean nothing. You guys, if you guys don't know, Google Jim Cramer. They know nothing. They know nothing. That's what we know. We know nothing. I know nothing. Node knows nothing. Data Dash knows nothing. All those guys know nothing. All these, you just have to obey the charts. Obey the charts. And you know, that's all you can do is obey the charts. That's all I gotta say. Obey the charts. And that's what you have to do in the altcoins. Like we know alts have been hit pretty hard today. Yeah, pretty much the only thing up is EOS, IOTA, which has just been gangbusters. Stellar Lumens, right? Stellar Lumens is up. Diamond Coin is up 16%. Diamond Coin is a value store. They say we're a value store. I think they only have like 3 or 5 million altcoins. That's their float. It's pretty small. Maybe it's 10. I don't know exactly. Somehow, you know, well, this is Digibyte, not Dogecoin. You know, very few coins are up today. A lot are down double digits. Trig is down. ADX, PPC, Siacoin, PTOR. I mean, it's just time and time again. These are down, 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 down. So, obey the charts. That's all I got to say. Obey the charts. Opinions mean nothing. My videos calling for 11.5 to 3K mean nothing the second the charts reverse. I never got to make a retraction video. I've just been super busy with side work. So, yeah, maybe we need a psychological analysis. There you go, Janet, right? And that's 100% true. We all need psychological analysis. We just have to trade the charts, guys. They're right there. Put the opinions aside. Not even hodling. I mean, I don't even think hodling's correct. I think hodling can do good in Bitcoin. I do think that is a strategy that has proven to be good, but at some point that's not going to feel very good. But maybe it's at 100,000. I have no idea. I have no idea. Frederick's asking for salt. Let's take a look at salt. I haven't really been up on this coin. I was looking at it. So salt has put in a double top right here. Okay, salt's put in a double top. We're pulling back. Good volume on, well, on this topping bar, kind of putting in the topping bar. If we break down to the 15-minute, maybe we can see a little bit more. Yeah, so that's some good topping action. This is by far the largest volume in this coin thus far, indicating topping. So not looking super good here. It is consolidating. It's kind of due a consolidation. It's putting that in right now. It's doing the work. You kind of have to let it work, and then we'll see what's what. I mean, we'll see what's what. You have a little low put in here a little bit ago at the 55,000 Satoshi level. We'll see if that holds here, and then we'll see where we go from there. But it's consolidating after a big run up, big topping candle. You have to respect the topping candle. So Jamie says, Real Crypto, do you think BTC will continue to pump when CBOE futures start next week? No opinion on the matter. Bitcoin is just trading. Just trade the charts. You know, that's really what you have to do is trade the charts, Jamie. My thoughts mean nothing. My thoughts mean nothing. If I had very, very good thoughts when I got into cryptos at 3,000, I would have just bought, and hodled. I would have just bought and hodled, but I'm a trader by nature, and I have to respect my nature. And I have some bias that keeps me out of buying Bitcoin through a parabolic run. I can't explain it. I'm a human like everyone else, but you have to respect the charts. So you have to respect what Bitcoin does at that moment in time. And that's all you can do is respect the charts. So what do I think is going to happen? I think everyone's buying into that rally, which means that hopefully we'll get some kind of a pullback. But if recent history in Bitcoin has been any indication, that pullback will be bought into almost instantly. So there you go. That's kind of what that is. Am I holding anything long term? I do have a relatively small Bitcoin position that I am hodling in a paper wallet, but that is all. That is all. I'm generally in cash right now. Lucas is asking about long term and do I have experience cashing out with taxes? I do not have experience with taxes. This is my first year in cryptos, and I have some gains. We'll see. We'll see what the taxman says I have to do with that. 16.6 on BitThumb. Oh, crazy. Lucid, have a good one. Lucid's out of here, everybody. Like the video if you guys haven't, please. I'm live streaming here probably for the next half an hour or so. If you want to spread that out on Twitter, I would appreciate that. Get some people into here. I'm going to be spending a lot more time on the channel and in my community based on the fact that I no longer have a job. I do have a side job that I will be working at pretty much full-time for the next week or two. And past that, I will be doing quite a bit of projects in the crypto space, as well as putting my trading course together, and we'll see how that goes. So go ahead and throw this out there, guys. PKB, thoughts on PKB? Ian says. Let's look at PKB. I did see that. Where did I see that? And again, I'm going to look at it versus the dollar. And the verdict is, looks like it's rounding over at this moment in time. We had a nice uptrend happening. It looks like it's rounding over. We're having a double top here, kind of a triple top action. Double top bottom instead of a higher low like we've seen. So we'll see where we go from here. Looks like this big red volume bar is on a kind of a weird topping bar. Yeah, it looks like it's stagnated for now. It's kind of finding some equilibrium. When it gets going over 116, maybe over the 112 level with some gusto, maybe you can get back in. I think it's worth switching Bitcoin to the alts such as Ethereum or Litecoin. That is a thought that I had. However, you don't have confirmation that this particular rally is over. Although I will say 20% in 24 hours. You can probably call a top in this rally. But I would say look for the altcoins that start to go up. So let's go through a few of them here. We have Ethereum, which looks like it's put in a nice low here. Put in a nice low right here. Have some nice volume. Nothing really there to write home about, though. Let's take a look at XRP. Kind of the same with XRP. We've been darting to the downside. Nice bottoming candle here. Maybe you can take a little bit there. Maybe take a little position there. I was looking at Litecoin last night, hoping that it would kind of curl up from this 103.50 level. Never really did that. Instead, it went downwards, and now we have kind of a nice pump in Litecoin. Litecoin looking pretty good right here. I do like this Litecoin right here. Although we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's a little extended from the bottom, from the 98 to the 100 level. We'll see what's going on there. Monero. It looks like it's kind of a head and shoulders pattern happening right here. I'm on the 15-minute, by the way. Let's go out to the 2-hour chart. On the 2-hour, this thing has been running. This thing has been running. Kind of broke out. I have this longer term trend line in Monero. Looks like it broke out of that. Man, this thing, a lot of things are very parabolic right now. Altcoins have had a very nice run. Kind of the second coming of summer, if you will, right? Even though we're coming into winter. Dash on the daily, not looking too good here. This is a very big engulfing candle. This engulfs this entire topping area. If we go down to the 2-hour chart, big rounded top action. Rounding action is never good. Never good. Although we are getting some higher volume on the right-hand side here, kind of a bottoming candle with a large wick to the downside with, excuse me, large volume here. Still have 33 minutes left in this 2-hour candle. Could be a bottoming candle in Dash. Not advocating a trade, just kind of pointing out the technicals here. What can you tell about MCO chart? Big spike yesterday, today back off. So we'll get into that. Let's look at IOTA number 4 on CoinMarketCap. So IOTA, I still have IOTA. I actually had a big buy. If you guys are part of the chat room, I mentioned just buy IOTA, and that has proven to be a very, very good strategy. Although we're in a very nice consolidation here. This does look like a consolidation. Nothing crazy toppy happening here. If you look, this largest volume candle lies on this candle, which is a hammer candle, a type of a hammer. And we're just we popped up a little bit on not much volume, and now we're consolidating. So this move probably not done in IOTA. ADA. So ADA had this huge run. If you guys weren't part of that, big run up here, and then since been consolidating, rolling over, kind of just like we looked at a little bit ago. The rounding action, never good. Rounding action is not good. Push to the downside, kind of what you don't want to see is a push to the downside. What you do want to see is a curl to the upside a little bit, kind of like you have here. This is not good action. This probably would have kept you out of ADA. I did bottom feed a little bit right here. Took a very small gain. Got out of it, just looked a little bit weak, and that's proven to be the case right here. So step aside from ADA. It probably is going to come back down here to this level at the towards the 800 level right here. It's probably going to come back down here before it maybe bottoms out. But this thing has had such a spectacular run. These take time to consolidate. It's not going to curl and pop. Okay, it's just not going to do that. These charts do not resolve in that fashion. Ethereum Classic, much of the same, kind of some rounding action pointing lower. You are getting a nice little bottoming candle here, but how short-lived that will be is yet to be seen. Down 11% today. Omisego coming up to 11, which has proven to be resistance in the past. If we go back to the 1 day, I just did XMR, Sophie. I just did XMR. We'll revisit that again. Revisit XMR. Kind of toppy action here. Good volume though. It has had a big run up. It's going to need to consolidate. It is coming back. It is pulling back. Maybe it respects this trend line, though I wouldn't have bias towards that trend line. There's a little bit of level of consolidation here at the 240. I didn't go this much into detail, but it's topping. It's going to form a little base here. The action doesn't look like it's the end of the move, so we'll see how that plays out. Dash is I just looked at Dash a little bit ago. Looks like there's a bottoming action happening right here in Dash. As you can see, this candle is being bought up into. However, I don't necessarily know it's going to round over and go right back up. That's yet to be seen in these charts. Usually these rounding to the downside patterns tend to take a long time to consolidate back. You just kind of have to play the charts on this one. If you want to buy this dip, I would only buy it for a bounce, maybe for about 50, 60 bucks or so. Yep, rounded top. Exactly. Like I said with IOTA, excuse me, IOTA is putting in a base right here. If you buy here, you can expect it to pull back maybe to this 3.6 level. You can also expect it maybe to chop back up here towards 5. We talked about ADA rounding over to the downside, never a good thing. Give this thing room. Give this thing time to consolidate. It is going to take a little bit of time here. So Ethereum Classic, much of the same, although again, just like we saw with Dash, a bit of a bottoming candle here, the same rounded top action in Ethereum Classic, not looking healthy. Take a look at NEO. NEO has not been a good coin to trade recently. It's been not trending well. I've been avoiding it, not really putting much faith into these moves. They've been sold off into, and that's been time and time again. So QDM, you guys know I hate QDM, and for good reason. It just fails every move, and it's just pointing lower. Stay out of QDM. EOS, oh man, the little coin that will not stop. This thing This thing is almost 10 bagged on us since it had this little breakout here. What are we at? Just to the point right here, up 500%. Yeah, 600% up. 5 to 600% in EOS. This move is long in the tooth. It could consolidate. We'll see what happens. The volume here, though, is still not topping volume. Definitely could continue sideways and then continue going upward. Lisk is the coin that should have been, that just can't. It just can't. All right, we popped out of here. We had a buy right here, and Lisk came up, came down, came down. It's just floundering about, guys. You have to learn to recognize strength, and you have to learn to recognize things that aren't as strong, and you want to be involved with strength. Let's take a look at Stratus. Stratus, we've had a couple of buys in Stratus. None have really paid off. None have really paid off in Stratus. So, guys, we're talking about Monaco. Let's take a look at Monaco. Down 18% today. Big pump the other day. Huge pump. The thing basically tripled. Went from $6 all the way up past 18. And it's consolidating. It's just doing a consolidation. If you look at the volume, you see these patterns time and time again. The volume pattern is just getting more quiet, but it's still elevated from this level. So you're going to see a little bit of whipsawing. And yeah, it's going to take a while for this to run off, just like we've seen before. You're going to get a triple. It's going to take time for this thing to wear off. If this were holding in the high level here, I'd be a little more optimistic, but it's holding low. It's holding towards the middle of this range at about 40–50% of this run, so you can expect this to take time to wear off. EC2. I don't know. EMC. Let's look at it against the dollar on Bittrex. Yeah, this thing has been pumping. This thing has been pumping. Oh, beautiful bases. I never really noticed. Too busy looking at other things. This is a beautiful base, guys. Everyone notices these coins too late. Everyone notices these coins too late. If only there were some kind of bot that would recognize nice, tight action. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. So nice, tight action here. Led to a big volume pop. Led to another base. Led to a big volume pop. And off we go to the races. Yeah, this has had a huge run here. It's going to pull back. And nice little voluming candle here. 26 minutes left. This could be a nice bottoming candle. See, this is so far holding towards the highs. Did have this spike down here, but this is kind of holding up here towards the highs in the top part of the range versus like the coin we just saw a minute ago. I already forgot what it was. I think it was MCO. These ones that hold towards the highs are going to run stronger more than likely. Is MCO a giant cup? What a very good question. What a very good question. Let's go look at MCO. Again. Against the dollar. Is it a giant cup? Let's go to the daily. That doesn't look very good. That looks better. Okay, so here's the thing about these. You have to know when to call something a cup and a handle, or when to not to call something a cup and a handle. This does not look like a cup to me. So typically a cup, like this would be your cup because you have a defined high, and then here's your previous high right here, okay? This would kind of be your cup, all right? This would be your cup. Now, this isn't really a handle because it's already broken out and pulled all the way back in, so this is technically a failed pattern. This would be your cup. I wouldn't consider this and this a cup. I mean, you could probably try to loosely define that, but I think it would be, you know what, you're just reaching at that point, to be honest with you. You can try to infer stock charts, but usually the charts just kind of make themselves obvious. What's Bitcoin doing? Huh, not selling off. Yeah, just like I said when I first started the live stream here. Yeah, not really selling off, just kind of holding. Let's just dive down, see what we can infer from this chart. So how would I read this? So how would Real Crypto read this chart? Well, I'd start on the daily. Okay, let's go to the daily. Let's zoom way out and draw these really, really cool lines that I like to draw because I'm such a cool guy. That is sarcasm. Let's draw these lines. All right, you know, there's a number of ways you can infer these types of moves. There's a million ways to do this, guys. And this doesn't mean anything. These are just lines I'm drawing on a chart. But so this is a level of support. This is a level of support. This is a level of support. Now we have this as a level of support. And now we have this as a level of support. And every time Bitcoin jumps up like this, it's giving itself breather room. Okay? It's giving itself more and more room to run. We had a little bit of a test of this trend line right here. Okay, actually this is a misdrawn. This technically should be right here. We pulled back here just ever so slightly on that parabolic day, on that big doji, big candle, big volume day. We went ahead and we tested this line and we held it. We held it, and since then we've gone up more than I care to admit to myself, and on massive volume. So Bitcoin is going to stop running when these trend lines get broken. Okay, these trend lines indicate a trend. Okay, and until your trend lines are breaking, you still have the trend intact, and you can't fight the trend. The trend is your friend. Okay, actually, speaking of which, let's go into trading sayings. The trend is your friend. There you go. Let's put that into trading sayings. The trend is your friend, guys, and you have to go with the trend until it's not there. But you have to recognize that if you want to buy at 13,989.46, you have the risk down here to 11,775. Okay. Now, if you don't like this particular trend, if you don't like this particular risk, you can dive down. You can go, hey, let's go to the 4-hour chart. Okay, what's my trend on the 4-hour chart? Okay, well, let's draw a new trend line, right? Because we can kind of infer one like this. So if you want to buy Bitcoin at 13,966.17, you can say that you're going to have risk down to 13,029.98. You see how that works? And if you don't like that, you can go down to the 2-hour chart, and you can pretty much infer the same thing. Maybe dive down to the 15-minute chart. All right. Redraw this trend line a little bit now that we kind of have a little bit of stuff going on here. You can infer a different trend line. You can infer a trend line from here all the way up like this. So now if you want to buy Bitcoin at 13,979, you have your risk down here to 13,662. Frederick, why don't you go ahead and expand on that in the chart, buddy, and I'll jump to that in a minute after I get through this point. The point that I'm trying to make here, folks, the point, especially for you guys that are new to cryptocurrencies, I see a lot of faces I've seen in here before. I'm not sure how many people are new to my channel, especially considering that I haven't really posted lately. But anyways, the thing I'm trying to get to is that when you're asking how high can Bitcoin go, when you're asking what's too high, when do I get out, the second you start violating trend lines, the second you start violating these trend lines is when you can get out. Okay, it's when you can get out. Now, yeah, I know I've been gone, Muhammad. Hey man, I got a life too, buddy. I got a life too. I don't make enough off my my crypto channel here. I don't get half a Bitcoin donation a month on my channel, so I really can't do this full time. You just have to live with the fact that I need to make a living. Until these trend lines are broken, you have to infer that the uptrend is intact. Okay, you just have to infer that the uptrend is intact. Now, these trend lines continuously get redrawn. Like if we're living down here, we were living in this section right here beneath 11.8, and this was a really good entry point right here at the 11.8 level. You had kind of a natural base, a form of a cup with a handle right here. You could infer that. I guess it really wasn't broken because this trend line was intact. This trend line, yeah, like say right here, like maybe you draw this trend line and you think, okay, Bitcoin's over when it crosses here. Okay, well, if that's your sell point, if here's your sell point, that's fine. You go ahead and sell, but you have to know when to redraw your trend lines. Okay, so when Bitcoin resumes its uptrend right here and goes into all-time highs, you have to reset this trend line. These trend lines are fluid. They're only static when you get these big bounces to the downside. Then you can kind of say, okay, yeah, that's a yeah, that's a bottom, and I can go ahead and draw all these trend lines and re-infer where the trend is going to take you. So anyway, that's kind of how these trend lines work, and that's really what I wanted to get to. That's really what I wanted to get to. Nice to see you, JW. Thanks for joining me here. So how do you know when Bitcoin is done? Is when Bitcoin tells you it's done, when these trend lines get broken. Now, let's say this trend line gets broken. Let's say we break down. What happens then? Do I sell my entire position? What do I do? Well, that's up to your trading plan. If you're a recent entry, if you've only gotten in like above this 13,000 level, you may want to exit, okay? Because you don't have a big profit in order to sustain yourself if this thing starts taking out levels. But if it does break down here and then maybe it's supported at this trend line, right? Maybe it's supported here and continues upward. Maybe it chops and goes sideways. Every time Bitcoin pops up, it gives itself room. If we go back out to the daily chart, we're going to see all these horrible trend lines that I just drew. But if you look at it on the daily, your trend line, your trend line's right here. You have this trend line on the daily. If you're taking a longer term perspective on the Bitcoin transaction, on the Bitcoin trade, this is your trend line. Well, what did Bitcoin do? I mean, if you look at this trend line here, you can infer it here and here and here. Actually, technically, it should be like that. Actually, I take that back. You want to respect that. You want to respect the lows if you can. What did it do right here with this big pop? It bought itself some time, right? It bought itself some time. So if it did nothing again today, tomorrow would almost be a day of reckoning. Tomorrow would be a day where like, okay, maybe this thing chops around this trend line and this trend starts to lose momentum. Well, what did it do? It popped up and it gave itself another 7 days. So now Bitcoin has given itself 7 days to, even if this price doesn't move, it can go sideways for 7 days until this trend is still intact. So that's kind of how that works. That's kind of how that works. And even if it pulled back, you know, you want to wait for these levels to be broken. You can try to infer other trend lines. Now, trend lines are a little bit they're not misleading. They're kind of a rabbit's hole. I can draw trend lines all over this chart all day long, but these are just the major trends. All these big spike lows you can infer, and like we did, you can drop down to the 2 hour and you can draw trend lines all over this chart and just drive yourself crazy. But you have to understand how you trade, and you have to understand your strategy and your time frame, and do things appropriately. Anyway, that was kind of my my long synopsis on how to know if Bitcoin is failing or not. How to know if you should get out of Bitcoin, and yeah, that's kind of that. IOTA, the big star of the day. Excuse me, the week. IOTA is the big star of the week. All right, let's take a quick. Actually, how many guys are in the chat room? I want to check it out here. 134. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to, and thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. So, the past couple of days has been really interesting. If you're in cryptocurrencies, what you want to do is catch the big winner, right? You want to catch the big winner. How do you do that? How can you catch the big winner? Well, first of all, it's going to be difficult. Okay, it's going to be difficult. Before I jump into that, Frederick did ask me about salt. Did you ever elaborate on that, Frederick? You want me to look at CoinMarketCap and check salt. What specifically on salt? Because it's a line chart, and I have an allergic reaction to line charts. They just my body just pushes them away. My body just usually throws up in my mouth a little bit when I see line charts. So you're saying that this is kind of a big cup and maybe we're just getting started? Is that what you're saying here, buddy? Versus USD? So there's BTC. Obviously the BTC charts are going to be beaten down. Oh, I didn't know you can click those away. Look at me, being an idiot. Did not know that. I never knew that those were buttons. Thanks. Increasing right side. Yeah, volume is increasing. So here we go. Yeah, it is on TradingView. I think he wants to get a little bit more. I think the line charts probably take a little bit of the noise out, which is why he's asking me to look at it on CoinMarketCap, because he knows how. Me and Frederick are pretty close. He knows how I look at charts. But yeah, so yeah, the increasing volume on the right side, that is very good. You're kind of breaking out into all-time highs here. Frederick, you're always good, buddy. So let's look at Salt and see the difference in the charts here. That's so he's saying USD because you don't get USD on TradingView. That's what he's saying. Yeah, that's why this looks like crap. See, that's the thing. And Node Investor and I covered this earlier a little bit. I said, hey, why don't you talk about why you look at Bitcoin versus US dollar, and I'll explain why I do. And what he said is that he likes to know what's outperforming Bitcoin because he likes to accumulate more Bitcoins, and that's what a lot of people try to do that. And the reason why I use the US dollar is because you get a much more clear view of what Salt is doing when it takes the noise that Bitcoin introduces out of the chart. Okay, because like there's a big difference here. Come on. There's a huge difference here in the chart. Maybe 15-minute will be a little. I want to get kind of the same view that TradingView has. I don't know if I'm going to get that here, guys. Sorry. So this is the Bitcoin chart, right? It looks like we have like a triple top happening here. We kind of have a weird bottoming thing going on. And this makes me throw up a little bit in my mouth too. This is the chart I would not trade. I would never buy this chart. I would buy this chart. Okay, this is a big cup. Okay, this is a little mini handle which we actually just broke out of here. If you go to the USD chart, why can't I get USD on here? That's going to drive me nuts. Frederick, you're good, buddy. You're just good. I wish you would trade as good as you chart. You'll be very successful one day. I know that for a fact. But yeah, so let's look at this here. Let's zoom in a little bit on this USD chart, even though it's a line chart, and I hate it. So increasing volume here. If you notice, the volume all the way through here was very small. Then it starts to increase with the price right about here. You notice that? It starts to increase, then get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's already doubled from here. Yeah, so Salt could be one that you want to hold on to a little bit. So there's an interesting thing in crypto. So in the stock market, things are pretty black and white, to be honest with you. In Ian says, what if you've been holding since low 40s? You mean on BTC low 40s or since like 240? What are you referring to there, Ian? There's a lot of coins in crypto, and most of them are garbage coins, to be honest with you. Most of them are forks. Most of them do the same thing. Most of them are garbage. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. Most of them are garbage. But there's a few coins out there that are unique, that are in unique spaces, that do unique things, and you have to understand those ones. And Salt is a unique coin, okay? If you don't know, Salt is like a lending platform where they will actually lend you real money against Bitcoin, and that's their platform. That's their platform. You can get real money against your Bitcoin. No one's doing that in the space. This isn't the fork of something else. This isn't... okay, so someone since low 40s. Oh, since down here? Hold it. Just hold it. You got a big profit buffer, buddy. I say you hodl this one. You've lasted this long. Just keep holding. Yeah, I'll comment on EC2 real quick. I'll comment on EC2. But my whole point is that you have to understand. You have to understand when you're looking at a coin that's different. Obviously, we know Bitcoin's different, right? I mean, it's still going up, for crying out loud. We know Bitcoin's different. We know Ethereum. We know Ethereum's a little bit different. But to be honest with you, the more that I'm looking at the blockchain space, Ethereum's a little bit of it's a little bit of old tech. To be honest with you, if you look at ADA, here, everyone do this. Not necessarily the second, but it's Cardova. Where's it at? Cardano. So go to Cardano's website. Don't do it right now because you're going to take views away from my thing. And I don't like that. Give me views. Go to... Come on. Where's Cardano? Here we go. Go to Cardano. Go to Learn More. And in here somewhere is a video. Where's the video? There's a video in here somewhere. Darn it, where is it? There's a very, very good video. It's a little buried. It's a little bit buried, but there's a video in here by the owner, by the starter of Cardano. He actually came from Ethereum. Wrong site? Yeah, if you want, can someone find that link for me? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I want everyone to watch that video because it's a very interesting coin. Yeah, it's a different website. It's a dark, it's like a black background. God, I want to find this for you guys so I can post the link. Maybe I just do intro video. That's the guy, but that's not the video. It's actually a 57-minute long video. It's a very, very good video. Anyway, if someone can try to find that, that'd be great. It's about a 57-minute long video. But what you need to understand is how coins are different, okay? How coins are different. IOTA is different. We know that IOTA is different. We know that ADA is different. Cardano is different. We know XRP is different, although there's a lot of things that have forked off of XRP, which kind of limits some of its upside potential, I think, although it's, you know, all altcoins are going to do very well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on it. There's a reason why IOTA is bucking this trend. There's a reason why IOTA had a 500% move, or I'm sorry, a 1,000% move. There's a reason for these things, and it's because they're different. So when you want to catch that big winner, you have to look at these coins that are different and wait for them to move. Your job as a trader is to kind of wait. That's your job. CardanoHub.org. Thank you. All right, here's the video. Everyone, I'm going to get off here in about 7 minutes, but there's that video. Watch that video. It's 57 minutes long. Just watch it, and you have to. The reason why you watch it, he does a very good job of explaining why Ethereum is old tech. And I'm not hating on Ethereum. I'm just simply saying there's things that have been improved upon that are going to make these networks, you know, very usable. And Ethereum may not get used as much as everyone thinks it will. Even though I posted that video the other day about Ethereum moving, which it did, because technically it was pretty good. Anyway, all right, back to your guys' charts. But yeah, I think ADA is dope. ADA is an awesome coin. Maybe you want to hold a little down here. I don't know, but I wouldn't get too heavy. I like to buy on strength. Look, to be honest with you, go to the 4-hour chart, maybe the daily chart. I mean, this thing could move again in February. If you're fine with having dead money for 2 to 3 months, that's fine. But other than that, you just want to give these things time to work. Okay? Like I traded this here, I traded this here, and I traded this here. You know, you wait for the breakouts if you like something. All right, someone mentioned EC2 again, EMC. Pretty strong coin, EMC2. Emmer coin, that's not it. What did I do here? It's Einsteinium that you want. Okay. Fancy, fancy. So this one has also had a... This one's had a huge move. You know, people have been shouting this out in the chat room. I have not paid attention. Frederick, I'm going to hold you accountable. You should have noticed this. It's your fault. It's your fault, Frederick. If you guys saw this, this is, you know, like this is what it would have looked like on your chart. This is just gorgeous action in Einsteinium. But up here, it's a little bit of a different animal. It's probably going to have a longer pullback. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time to consolidate all of these gains. Okay, so you're probably going to get some swings in here. Like this looks like a 60% swing or so. Yeah, it's about a 60% swing from the bottom of this candle to the top of this action. So you have the potential to make some trades on a shorter term time frame, but yeah, longer term, it's going to take some time to work this out. Now that being said, none of this volume here on this 15-minute chart, I'm on the 15-minute, none of this volume's toppy. None of this volume's toppy, so maybe it consolidates and goes higher, but it needs time to consolidate. All right. Someone mentioned SafeX. They've been one of the few that have been running. One of the very few. And if I remember right, SafeX was up like 70%. Hey, I have it against the dollar. Yay. Yeah, this thing was up huge. Kind of the same thing here. So, good looking chart. So kind of the same thing. You have to understand what this is, SafeX, Alex. You have to understand what market cycle you're in. All right, everybody? You have to understand, yeah, Mona has been running. You have to understand what market cycle you're in, okay? Are you in a bull market? Are you in a bear market? Are you in a sideways market? Are you in a market that facilitates trading? Are you in a market that facilitates you holding? Are you in a market that facilitates patience or impatience? You have to understand, this has been a market in the past week or two that has really been, you have to be patient with this market. Not saying you have to sit in losses, but I'm saying that when you get into a trade, you have to let it run, okay? So like take this one, there's a very clear entry sign right here at about the 18 level, and you would have gotten a double out of that. That's pretty good, but it would have taken you a couple of days, and in crypto, for a lot of people, a couple of days is a lifetime. I mean, it's like a lifetime, so you have to understand that. Now, where do I think we're at in this market cycle? I think we're in the middle of a longer-term bull cycle like we saw last summer. And I think that the benefactors of those are the coins you guys are talking about today. Okay? The coins that have run the best will typically run the best. And when you look at these, when you look at the price action here in something like SafeX, right? In something like SafeX, there's no topping action here. You have one topping candle right here. And again, this is on the 15-minute. This is a pretty small time frame, okay? This is a pretty small time frame. Big topping candle right here on big volume, but guess what? It worked right around and started curling itself back up and making highs. We double topped. We're handling out. Looks like we may have put a little bottom in here. You know, maybe if you want to take a trade, boom, you've got one right there. Maybe coming up, maybe not. I don't know. It's up to your trading strategy. But this to me looks like a double bottom with a handle. Okay, not a traditional double bottom, but some kind of a double bottom with a handle. Has a W pattern. Here's your handle. All you can do is look at the charts. All you can do is look at the volume, look at the price, kind of look at different time frames, make sure you see the whole picture. Oh, this thing's in a nice uptrend. Look at that. Okay, what's this volume doing? Okay, we got nice topping volume, but has since negated that. Now we're back up. Has two more topping candles, but you know, this volume's bigger than these candles, so maybe we're fine. And you know, nothing much today. This bar is going to close in what, 20 seconds. Higher lows, maybe we break out from here again. That's a complete possibility. So all right, guys, I am going to get out of here. That's my time. One last question. Before you leave, any suggestions on where you think Bitcoin will do over the next 24 to 48 hours? I have no freaking idea. This thing is parabolic until proven otherwise, okay? It can hit this trend line, which for 40, I mean, it can do nothing. This takes you out to 42 to 72 hours. This takes you out, well, this takes you 24 hours. This takes you out about 72 hours. So obey the trend line. I'm not a forecaster, especially to the upside. Especially to the upside. I'm not a forecaster. It's really impossible to know what to do. And if you look at my last video where I called 11.5 to 3K, obviously that didn't happen. But if you've been astute to my overall general philosophy and how I try to teach you guys things, you should know that any opinion can be changed at any given time. And my opinion means nothing. My opinion means nothing. My chart analysis is usually pretty good. But my opinion means nothing, just as your opinion means nothing. All of your opinions are crap. And mine included. Mine included. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I haven't done this in a while. Talking with Node earlier really kind of cleared my head a little bit. I've been really busy with work outside of crypto, and yeah, I'm going to be more active here. I'm going to try to get back to videos at least twice a week. I think my daily videos were getting a little monotonous for a lot of people, even for me. It's getting pretty monotonous, so I'll do what I can. Thank you guys for joining me. Subscribe if you like it. I will see you guys later. Have a good day.